The Aztec Calendar Stone, Art of Mexico. Over 600 years ago, the Aztecs created stone pyramids with temples for worshiping their gods. The pyramid at Tenayuca was dedicated to the gods Huitzilopochtli and Tlaloc. It is still standing today. Atop the pyramid, the Aztecs studied the night sky. They observed astronomical cycles and created myths, which were later recorded in the Aztec Calendar Stone. Pyramids were built throughout the Aztec Empire and other cultures in Mesoamerica. They were often placed in the best locations for studying the stars and the moon. Through their observations, the Mesoamericans identified cyclical epochs, years, months, and days, which they used to regulate feast, agriculture, and commerce. Today, we understand that the Earth spins around its axis every 24 hours. The Aztecs didn't measure time in hours as we do today, and they didn't know about the Earth's axis. However, they observed the changing position of the sun on the horizon at sunrise. From these observations, they organized their 365-day solar calendar. They didn't realize that the Earth travels around the sun every 365 days, as we understand today. The Aztecs believed their gods created rainy and dry seasons. Today, we understand that the slowly changing angle of the Earth's axis throughout the course of a year causes seasons. When the Earth's axis tilts toward the sun, it is the longest day and the shortest night of the year. We call that day the summer solstice. When the Earth's axis is vertical, the daytime and nighttime are equal in length. We call that day the equinox. It occurs each year in the seasons we call fall and spring. When the Earth's axis tilts away from the sun, we have the shortest day and the longest night of the year. We call that day the winter solstice. When the Earth's axis tilts toward the sun, the weather is hot. We call that season summer. When the Earth's axis is vertical, the weather is cool. We call that season fall. When the Earth tilts away from the sun, it is cold. We call that season winter. When the Earth's axis is vertical, it is warm. We call that season spring. The Aztecs combined their solar calendar, devised by observing the sun, and their mythological beliefs to understand the universe. Emperor Moctezuma II commissioned the Aztec Calendar Stone, Piedra del Sol, which incorporates both astronomy and mythology within its design. The basalt relief weighs 24.5 tons and measures 11 feet and 5 inches in diameter. 2 fire serpents on the Aztec Calendar Stone's rim meet at heads and tails. They symbolize the course of the sun as it travels across the sky each day and is swallowed by the earth each night. Each morning it is reborn. The Aztecs organized their calendar into 18 months of 20 days, plus 5 extra days for the solar year, and 13 months of 20 days for the 260-day ritual calendar. Days are depicted by 20 symbols, which form the interior circle of the calendar. At the center, 4 large rectangles symbolize the 4 previous epochs, each with its own sun. The Aztecs believed the suns of the 4 previous epochs were destroyed by jaguars, hurricanes, volcanoes, and floods. At the center of the calendar is the sun Tonatiuh, which presides over the 5th and current epoch. The Aztecs feared that earthquakes would destroy Tonatiuh, obliterating the universe for all time if they displeased him. In each eagle claw, he clutches the human heart, meant to feed him as he travels across the sky each day. The Aztec Calendar Stone was laid upon a platform of the temple of the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan. Atop the stone, the Aztecs offered thousands of human sacrifices before the two shrines honoring Huitzilopochtli, god of sun and war, and Tlaloc, god of rain and fertility. They believed the gods needed human blood and hearts to sustain them. In 1521, the Spaniards and their allies conquered the city of Tenochtitlan. Their victory marked the fall of the Aztec Empire and the destruction of Tenochtitlan, including the Great Pyramid. After the conquest, the Aztec Calendar Stone disappeared for 220 years. Near the former site of the Great Pyramid, the Spanish built the Metropolitan Cathedral in Mexico City. In 1790, during excavations to pave the adjacent Zocalo Plaza, the Aztec Calendar Stone was discovered, buried upside down. Today, it can be seen in the Museo Nacional de Antropología in Mexico City. The Aztec Calendar Stone reflects the astronomy, calendar cycles, and mythology of the ancient Aztec civilization.